Elon Musk just officially ended the partnership with NASA. He made a top-secret reveal about NASA, which was quite frightening. Due to its horrific nature, this has been classified information for years. However, we now know a scary fact about NASA, courtesy of the world's richest guy. Now, why did Elon Musk end the partnership with NASA? Welcome to the Tesla News Hangout, and today, we will discuss Elon Musk's new reveal and the real intention of NASA's moon missions. In the future, humanity will be able to go to Mars using SpaceX's huge rocket, dubbed the spaceship. It will, however, be used to land NASA humans on the moon first. Using SpaceX's spaceship, NASA has awarded SpaceX a $2.9 billion contract to carry humans to the moon's surface. NASA has long used commercial companies to shuttle humans, cargo, and robotic explorers into space. Mr. Musk, on the other hand, has been the winning contender in the battle to space after Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin company competed with SpaceX for the lunar contract. SpaceX has already overtaken Blue Origin and other rocket makers as NASA's most visible partner in the human space travel program. The alliance between NASA and Elon Musk has paved the way for a new era in space technology. While this union is laying the foundation for a bright future together, Mr. Musk recently spilled the beans on a NASA mission that was previously unknown. A classified expedition was discovered in NASA's top-secret archives. Even though the US-Soviet confrontation was wreaking havoc on our globe, the 1969 mission's goal was to land on the moon. Project 119, a joint effort between the United States Air Force and NASA, aims to explode a nuclear bomb on the moon. Documents from this program, which ran from 1958 to date, but were only made public recently after one of the scientists from the program spoke out, revealing some of the program's more bizarre priorities. The documents include nearly 1,600 pages of reports, proposals, contracts, and meeting notes. Due to many now famous films of an unidentified aircraft moving in seemingly impossible ways that former director Luis Elizondo provided to the public following his departure, NASA became associated with UFO in 2007. According to newly released papers, there is evidence that NASA has been doing more than investigating UFO sightings. There are reports on wormholes, stargates, and negative energy, high-frequency gravitational wave communications, warp drive, dark energy, and the manipulation of additional dimensions, as well as many more themes that will sound familiar to science fiction enthusiasts. However, the most insane part was that NASA proposed blasting a tunnel through the lunar crust and mantle with thermonuclear explosives to get to the moon's core. NASA says it's possible to find metals that are 100,000 times lighter than steel, yet still have the strength of steel, according to a paper on negative mass propulsion. According to the papers, there are other planetary astronomy and astrogeology mysteries that this research may solve. The actuality, however, is rather different. Many predict that it is a power struggle. After the Soviet Union had launched Sputnik, winning the world's first satellite in 1958, the United States launched its satellite a few months later. This was a significant component of the Cold War. A nuclear bomb may be sent to the moon, even if space technology is not yet ready to take humans there. While the goal is to detonate a nuclear bomb in a lunar crater, note that this particular weapon can wreak havoc on the entire world. Because of this, experts will not be able to conduct an in-depth investigation, but only demonstrate the power of US nuclear weapons to the world. After a long period of secrecy, a former NASA executive came out with the shocking news that the project is still in the works, which Mr. Musk brought to light when he discussed it. If it happened, science fiction enthusiasts would see the boom with their own eyes at the time, giving the government more ammunition for its propaganda efforts. NASA estimated that radiation would have a negligible impact on the moon's health. However, according to reports, scientists have disclosed plans to detonate a nuclear bomb with a power output of 1 to 5 kilotons on the moon. According to official US government policy on November 1970, sending an unmanned rocket to the moon would give nuclear energy to an exploding project was supported by the entire US administration. After this, the US Air Force began the top-secret operation. According to a 190-page declassified study, the objective of such an explosion was scientific, military, and political. The article discusses the explosive potential and the probable radioactive fallout on the lunar surface. The decision to use a minuscule W-25 nuclear bombs with a low yield of 1.7 kilotons had nothing to do with the professed scientific research aims of the mission. An explosion of this scale would have sent a message to the Soviets, which would have been delivered by rocket to the moon's hidden side. As a result, the sun would shine on the mushroom cloud, making it visible on the ground, especially from Moscow. However, the plan was scrapped due to public outcry and potential harm to the general population should something go wrong. Another concern was that altering the lunar environment may soon jeopardize upcoming lunar research and colonization attempts. However, consider for a moment what would happen if we were to truly destroy the moon. Scientists have grave concern about how nuking the moon will cause a gigantic explosion on its surface, allowing it to extend far further than it would here on Earth. As a comparison, a 100-megaton thermonuclear bomb is twice as strong as the most powerful one ever detonated. Due to the lack of atmosphere, anyone who gazed at the nuclear bomb explosions would die. According to researchers, nuclear weapons-related radiation is kept at bay by the Earth's atmosphere. On the moon, on the other hand, it would be free to spread, resulting in unscalable destruction. According to NASA, no one would notice even if the bomb went off. It would not affect the moon's orbit. The bomb would leave a new crater in the same way that someone blowing air can't move a car. However, scientists predict that an explosion would be catastrophic for civilization, resulting in moon pieces raining down on the planet and obliterating satellites and other spacecraft in orbit. There will be radioactive material on the surface of the moon. That being said, the consequences of a nuclear weapon being unleashed on Earth would be far worse. However, NASA's desire has been reignited during the past few years. They are even trying something new with nuclear energy. They are trying to build the Redstone rocket using this energy. The US Army and NASA conducted critical testing at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center during the building of the Redstone rockets. In 1958, the first nuclear weapon was detonated using this rocket. In addition, 3 years after the Redstone test site, it carried the first American into space. The complicated desire to test nuclear weapons in outer space is resurfacing. Engineers at NASA are working on a project that, on the surface, appears straightforward but is not. Nuclear-powered rocket engines are the goal. In comparison to today's chemical engines, nuclear engines would be twice as efficient as today's engines. It is challenging to develop and operate small-scale fission reactors because of the toxic waste they produce. Even without the threat of a nuclear explosion, flying across a vast expanse of space is dangerous enough. While such dangers may not be necessary for future human missions to the Moon and Mars, NASA believes they are. However, if a rocket carrying a hot nuclear reactor bursts on a launch site, it might cause a catastrophe of an epic magnitude. It would be more efficient to launch the nuclear-powered spacecraft into orbit using a regular chemically fueled rocket that a nuclear reactor is ignited. Although nuclear rocket engines are based on a simple premise, the technology involved is complex. Hydrogen is released from the reactor at extremely high temperatures using a nozzle. It would be more challenging to build reactors that withstand their heat. The partnership between NASA and SpaceX was aimed higher than SpaceX anticipated, with the actual project hiding behind the colonization of Mars and the Moon. Nuclear energy can be beneficial in the future, but if utilized for destruction, it can be horrifying. However, since NASA's future Artemis missions seek to bring humans back to a sustained presence on the Moon for the first time since the Apollo period, it is clear that the agency has no immediate plans to bomb the Moon. Nuclear explosions on the Moon would be counterproductive to this aim. Regardless, what do you think of NASA's supposedly covert mission? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel Tesla News Hangout, where we talk about Elon Musk, Tesla, and SpaceX. While you're at it, hit the bell so you never miss any of our videos, as more exciting ones like this are on the way. I'll see you in the next one.